Welcome to Game 2 of the World Cyber Games 2013 China Game Festival. My name is Whiplash, casting with Complexity Hendralisk. Let's get into the match. Spawning in the bottom left. Well, let's go up to the top right instead. Excuse me, it's going to be our Blue Zerg, yoeFWIan, currently up 1-0.
1-0 versus Soulkey.
Yeah, for Soulkey of all players. He's, of course, the Red Zerg in the bottom left, hailing from Korea, one of the most consistent and accomplished Zerg players in StarcraftII. But he lost game number 1, and you know, it was a legit win from Ian. He didn't do anything cheesy or weird.
Yeah.
He simply was the better player in the first game.
Yeah. And something interesting to note is that for this map, early pulls are very common because of the short rush distance. But the times has passed, and none of the players are going for an early pull. Once again, Ian with both players with the same opener as last game.
That's so. I remember you talked a little bit about how Ian seemed, one step ahead of Soulkey, and it could stem from the fact that Soulkey, there's so much information out on this guy, and if you look at a player like Ian, there's going to be a lot less to really study or prepare for.
Soulkey, the opener he went for was very, very safe, and I don't know. I think going for the Zergling speed into even Spire would have been a better choice, because he would have been the one controlling the tempo of the game, dictating the pace instead of Ian, who was in control.
Yeah, and if you're the better player, you generally want to dictate the pace. You want to put the pressure on your opponent. It just the better player will make less mistakes than the worst player, may crumble under the pressure, and end up making a lot more mistakes.
Soulkey probably thought being safe, maybe a bit behind, if my opponent knows how to read me. Yeah, let's just do that. I think we can still win, but I think this game he's not going to underestimate Ian if that's what he did in the first game. It's not going to happen again.
Well, I'd like to see something a little bit more flashy from Soulkey this time around. Like, maybe going for the Mutalisks to try to dictate the game when it comes to the mid and late game stages. Muted play at all. I'm a big fan of it in ZVZ.
Yeah, me too.
I know, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Hendralisk loves his mutas and ZVZ.
But it's a different story now in Heart of the Storm with the spore crawlers. If you look away for 1 second while your mutas are around a spore, not something bad is going to happen.
It could be
That's
game
for sure.
over. All right, well, Soulkey sending in his first pair of Zerglings, doing a little bit of scouting. One will get picked off.
But all he's going to need to see is the gas mine, or how many more drones are mining, if there's a bailing nest. He's got all that information right now. Well, once again, he's going for a gasless style. That's kind of because in the last game he just lost going for a gasless style.
So you think we could potentially see kind of the early and mid game being very similar to our previous match on?
Yeah, Ian actually pulls all his drones off gas because all he needs is the bailing nest or the Zergling speed. But Soulkey this time he's starting up 2 gases sooner than he did in the last game, where he started 4 gases at once.
So this is really interesting. He's going to get 2 gases a lot quicker than he did last game. What kind of build orders could we possibly see from this Hendralisk?
Soulkey now, he could be getting Zergling speed and trying to surprise his opponent with mass Zerglings. Or he can play for that same 2-base Roach Tech style with the upgrades, and with a Spine Crawler added right now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Roach style.
Alright, so good possibility of Roaches. That's the current weather prediction. Lots of Roaches, lots of Spines. And Soulkey also working on his wall, getting his evolution chambers. And
with this wall up, and the Zergling attack or Zergling harass, either one will not do any damage.
Yeah.
But the thing, once again, when you have Zergling speed, you control how the game goes. He pokes at the wall, he sees what's going on, so he's just going to react based on the tech that he's seen.
Yeah, and I mean, he sees the Roach Warren, he sees the evolution wall, and it looks like Ian is totally fine and doing a very similar thing. I also noticed that Ian, he is getting his layer.
Oh, Soulkey getting his Zergling speed. That's something I said might happen with the surprise Zerglings.
All right, so
his evolution chambers aren't moving. He's not getting. Oh, well, that's weird. He's getting some roaches.
Oh, okay. So he's getting a lot of roaches. He's also getting Zergling speed. The observer is pointing at us and saying, "Hey, what's going on here?"
I think what Soulkey's doing is a very heavy pressure or an all-in attack. But Ian this time, he's not getting a third base. he's not skipping Roach Swarm or his lair. He's gonna have all that he needs to defend. In fact, his lair is done. He's starting Roach speed, and as soon as he sees all these roaches coming, he's gonna cancel this third. He's gonna make his own roaches, maybe some spines, but
he is
the attack is coming.
He is starting the roach production, and this is actually going to be do or die for Ian. He needs to react almost immediately to the roach attack. He's got to know at this point that Soulkey is sending units across the map.
Yeah,
the
he
Overlord
sees it.
spots the roaches, and we're not seeing a cancel on the hatchery.
No, surprisingly. Maybe he thinks it's just little poke, but
Well, that's no poke.
yeah, Soulkey's making a ton of Zerglings behind his first roaches.
And Ian is looking like he got caught with his pants dropped down. Queen's doing their best to transfuse. Drones coming off the mineral line as well, but Soulkey, he has a ridiculous amount of roaches in this position, and with a lot of Zerglings reinforcing as well, that could spell doom for Ian. He has a lot of roaches and should be able to potentially at least defend against this attack for now. It's really the question is the follow-up from Soulkey. Will Ian be able to deal with that, or will it bring a queen to the mix? That looks like it was a bit of a mistake, and it looks like Ian. It looks like he's going to defend. I
think Soulkey brought his spine crawler too, but it's not going to be put down because his attack just got shut down so hard.
Actually,
and if this third doesn't die, I would say Soulkey's going to lose 2-0.
Yeah, I'm looking at the what's happening here. Soulkey, he's got to be feeling pretty desperate at this point. His attack totally failed.
I don't really agree with what he did.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it could have done a lot of damage, but like you said, Ian, he saw it in time, and he got prepared. He didn't even need to cancel a hatchery, which is the craziest part of the overall strategy.
Yeah, but this time, his Roach Warren and his lair was faster, so the good thing about going for a 2-base Roach style is that you're safe pretty much against any aggression, as long as you see it coming.
So Soulkey, at this point, I'm assuming he's going to try to dance around with the Zerglings a little bit, annoy Ian as much as possible, but he's already down, basically 15 supply. 10 and a half
can't
minutes
do anything.
Into the game.
But Ian's drones, he should be joining some more. Right now, he's got double the roaches. That's nice. But if he were droning, he would be 60 drones right now. Same roaches. Now make roaches be maxed so fast that Soulkey, even though he's Soulkey, he won't be able to defend. I think that would have been a better choice.
So Ian, he's trying to do a little bit of pressure, but doesn't look like it's going to really work out in this situation.
Ian's still making roaches.
Yeah, interesting.
You can't attack into someone who's just on 2 base. You have one more base, you can make the drones and just use defender's advantage. But Ian, I think he's going in for the kill, it looks like.
He is going for the kill. There's going to be that spine crawler and the additional queen support. The roach count is looking pretty similar, but Soulkey, I mean, his nickname is the Iron Zerg. If anyone can hold off this attack, it certainly should be him. The roach count, it's still pretty decently even, but with the queen support, I feel like Soulkey may have just enough units to defend against this. He's going to lose almost every single roach, and he may lose some queens, but at the last second, Ian forced back. What an amazing hold by Soulkey, and the lead from Ian, I feel like he may have squandered that.
Yeah, he really overcommitted here. He should have known better than to trying to end the game versus someone who's stuck on one less base than you after you hold off their attack. I mean, come on, just drone up and then play defensively. Why risk it as he did?
And this attack from Ian may actually bite him in the butt, as the counterattack from Soulkey is looking pretty dangerous at this point. There's going to be a lot of additional roaches at the natural of Ian to fend this off, but the game looks like I was actually thinking this could have been a 2-0.
Yeah, this could have been a 2-0, but now it still might be because of Ian being up a base, having the same army.
Yeah,
but
he's still in a good position.
Soulkey, if he's playing from behind, I wouldn't count him out. So
can't ever count out Soulkey, man.
Ian got a few roaches in the main.
Yeah,
it's
that's
annoying.
Gonna be annoying to deal with then. So they can just slowly pick off drones bit by bit. Forcing the drones off the mineral line. Also Soulkey gonna have to micro on 2 fronts. The roach count looking pretty solid between both Ian and Soulkey.
But I think Soulkey is still a little bit behind. But defending he should be fine because of defender's advantage and the queens.
It does look like he will manage to defend. But he is kind of a little bit behind in supply, but doing a really good job at really kind
after
of
his first attack,
things.
which was pretty, it didn't make too much sense to me. I'm not
did
just
seem
saying
a little
that
bit
yeah,
misplaced.
because it didn't work. It just from the start it seemed kind of odd, and now
Oh, the roach count definitely favoring Ian. I think
Yeah.
Soulkey's he needs to navigate properly out of this. If he's not careful, he could lose a lot more roaches from his main army, and these guys are just kind of running off in a corner. They have managed to split up Ian's army.
Oh, if Ian traps those roaches here,
Oh.
that's very, very huge.
That could actually be game ending. I
Oh, but
feel.
Soulkey's own roaches are there.
All right, so Soulkey, he's got enough roaches. It looks like at this point to defend, he needs to be very concerned about a potential surround, which is going to happen.
The roach sandwich made of roaches for the bread and the meat.
Well, I guess there's going to be a lot of protein in there, but Ian, does he have enough roaches to actually break Soulkey? It's still really close. It feels like every time these players clash against each other, we're having extremely close battles. One player, neither player really getting a decisive victory.
And now, I'm a big fan of going roaches myself. And if there's one thing that you don't want to do is you're trying to force your roaches to win the game against a player on less bases than you. I know this firsthand when I was playing Huck in MLG Invite Summer Tournament. I was winning decisively, or I was really ahead in the third game. Then I tried to keep doing what Ian was doing, and then it ended up as a loss for me. So don't overcommit with roaches for all the Zerg players out there.
All right, Zerg players, I hope you're taking notes, because that's golden advice you're not going to get too often. If you're on 2 bases, or if your opponent's on 2 bases,
play for the longer game.
Yeah, you got the extra economy. Why
but
not?
I think something that could have factored into this was Ian is thinking, "Whoa, I'm up 1 game, and I just defended this attack so easily. I have my roach speed done. Why don't I just spam roaches and then I beat Soulkey 2-0?" But that wasn't the right choice here.
I guess not. Supplies are still favoring our Taiwanese player, Flash Wolves Ian.
Yeah.
Soulkey not out of it, but he is fighting from a bit of a deficit. You really do have to hand it to these Korean players. Even if they're behind, it still feels like I am behind, but when is he going to somehow get ahead of me?
Oh, this is Roach Burrow.
I like it. And the Roach Burrow, I mean, recently,
that would have been bad.
Recently, the speed has been upgraded when your roaches are burrowed, so they can spread
Whoa.
around decently fast.
Oh my God! Ian doesn't notice.
There's no detection in
He
the main
thinks
base.
he's standing on top of the roaches.
Uh-oh. This could end quite poorly for Ian if he's not careful.
This can kill queens, kill drones at the same time, buy Soulkey time for himself.
And look at how smart Soulkey was. He split his drones up into multiple positions. He's killing a lot of drones in the main base. He'll be able to bounce from the natural on the third. Soulkey, this is the way that he's going to get back into this match against Ian. And he's forcing Ian the essentially all-in Soulkey.
Or make some drones as he's doing and try to see what's up. Oh, you got too many roaches and queens. I got to back off. But yeah, that move was brilliant. It's brought Soulkey completely back into this game. In fact, he's got a 7-drone advantage over Ian.
It may not end at this point. The third is still under attack.
Ian is now behind about 20 food.
Well, these run-bys completely changed the game for Soulkey. If it weren't for this, I feel like Ian could eventually just almost outswarm his opponent.
Yeah, I think Ian's been fortunate enough to be put into such great spots in both games. Just in this one, he didn't do the plan that would have worked out for him, which was play for the safer, longer macro game. So I think Soulkey should take this game, despite 2-0, or what it seemingly looked like a 2-0.
So if you can come back from the deficit that he was in, more power to Soulkey.
Oh my gosh, Ian! Look at his upgrades.
Oh.
It's very...
well... That's
Soulkey, I think, has 2-2, I think.
I believe he does have 2-2, or he's at least got... I'm pretty sure he has superior upgrades, and... I mean, if you have the superior upgrades, then your roaches are going to simply run over the enemy's roaches, and we already
he has transfuse and defender's advantage.
I mean, already it looks like Soulkey's ahead. At least almost 20 roaches over his opponent. It's now 40 to 22. The upgrades.
60 supply advantage.
Yeah, 2-2. The upgrades are really favoring the Soulkey.
Ian got too excited here.
Seems like a bit more of a rookie mistake to get a little bit too excited and try the move in.
Now
he seems to be like the death blow for Ian.
Yeah. In game 1, he said, "Yo, I'm Flash Wolf." Yo, you get it? Yeah. And then in game 2, Soulkey bounces right back. Says, "I'm Soulkey."